Ling abilities revealed. Center community submission finalists. And well-known IP to be brought to ARK through paid modded content. You're right, kids, it's Raasclark, and welcome to your regular ARK community news. Before we begin, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, share around, and let's get into it. So it's been somewhat an exciting week this week, with a lot of reveals behind the scenes and sort of summed up within last night's community crunch. Firstly, the Ling that wasn't quite the creature you originally voted for, but then turned out to be the creature we're going to get with Aberration for ARK Survival Ascended when it arrives, is actually quite akin to the originally proposed creature, well, in abilities at least. Through its wild description, it gave me the impression of it being not too dissimilar than of a Deinonychus, getting me a bit worried on how versatile this would actually be. But going through to the next descriptive as part of the dossier, it does touch on that it will shoot feathers before darting in to rip them apart from an unhappy target, meaning it is actually using the abilities pitched with the original submission of its shooting feathers from distance, and those feathers, depending on how many are shot at its prey, could stack up to create some insane damage when your Ling moves in to kill. With a wonder, will it stack with other creatures? Will simply these feathers create that debuff and other creatures can come in to finish the job, meaning things like Gigas, which although they're not an ab, but you know what I mean, could come in to do some decimating blows for some serious damage. On top of that, it seems we're going to have different type of feather attacks. It says in another descriptive that in it eating either weird mushrooms, which of course the different 4 types of aberration mushrooms, congealed gas balls, and nameless creatures could affect their feather attack. So we could see again what was originally pitched with the submission on different feathers doing different types of stacked damage. With a wonder, will it be quite similar to an ARK in that instance? With a glide ability on top, despite a lot of controversy surrounding this, yeah, it could turn out to be certainly a potent killer if these feathers do what I'm expecting them to do. Though, like most people out there, I don't know if this feels like an aberration creature as it is, and perhaps we should have had something more alien fantasy-like, but I appreciate why it was so difficult to create a fantasy vote, needing a real-world creature and trying to adapt that for this map. The devs touched on this brand new exclusive partnership, which seems to allude that the only servers you will be able to play on are from one singular host company, certainly leading to a lot of array this week. A lot of people weren't happy to hear about this one. But Wildcard went on to explain a reason for this is its seamless integration with Overwolf, who will be handling mods, essentially seeming that mods will be able to be downloaded directly to your server, so not confusing any scenarios of you downloading them from other third parties and trying to get them ported over to your server. They will all simply be downloaded, clicked, installed, there you go, off you go. Though for console, despite me thinking perhaps this was a way for them to negate having to put those mods on a store with Microsoft or Sony for you to download externally from, you're still going to have to download those, so you're going to have to download those to your consoles. Therefore, Microsoft and Sony are still going to need to approve these mods. So still kind of interested on how that's going to work. But I understand perhaps why they've gone for this exclusivity to have it all under one roof on top of the DDoS protection. But of course, we all know the real reason, the bailout, the large sum of money they were paid to essentially fund ASA and, well, get the publishers' style games out of a bit of a dry spell to make sure everything's smooth going forward for ARK's and ARK 2's development. Me and Jade PG talked about this in depth in a live this week, where we went through a few theories, suggestions, ideas surrounding this latest drama, with of course the biggest question being what happens to all other server providers out there? Are they doomed? Are they going to lose their jobs? Is that it? Can we only use one certain server company? Well, Wildcard cleared it up a little bit. They did go on to say in their community crunch that we understand that some people would prefer to manage their own servers, and so this partnership does not prevent you from hosting or managing your own non-commercial ASA servers with your own hardware. Whether other server providers will be able to utilize this in some way to use their servers remains to be seen. So it's seemingly not all doom and gloom from other server providers out there. I would certainly wait a bit until we've got some more information from those server providers, with still some concern on what happens if ARK Survival Ascended doesn't arrive in October, with their publisher Snail Games having an agreement with this host company bailing them out at 4 million. According to mod creator Shadloss, that was fed to me through Megadino0706, if ASA arrives after October, then all server hosters for ASE will lose their license, and Atrado being the only server provider allowed for ASE, ASA and ARK 2 servers. Worth mentioning, that was communicated to me third hand, so I'd still just wait and see for what the official statements are from all server providers as we get closer to ASA's launch, which seems now to definitely be October. Well, unless Snail Games want an even poorer agreement. Other things that me and Jade discussed this week was, during these financial reports from Snail Games, it was brought forward and confirmed that there will be 2 ARK Survival Ascended brand new DLC maps coming to the game at some point in the future, with a lot of expectation of one being set on a Rat Prime. Perhaps, maybe originally this first DLC wasn't going to be a Rat Prime, but they've now seen the feedback wanting this, and perhaps that second one will now be that. They did briefly mention ARK animated TV series within this conference call, though not really anything to go on. It could still be this year, it could still be next year, we just don't know at this point. But one thing they discussed, which I'm super excited about, is popular IP. In their words, well-known popular IP will be integrated through paid mods for ASA in the future. What these well-known intellectual properties could be is a complete guess at this stage, but the imagination soars. It could be Jurassic Park, of course, the one thing I'm certainly looking at straight away when I hear intellectual property collaborations. But there's others out there, Godzilla, even other games such as Monster Hunter. The list goes on, but this particular news I am certainly very excited to hear more of, and can't wait to see who ARK is going to be collaborating with. With one final note on this conference call, that Grove Street Games, who are behind the Switch port, will be developing the mobile port even further. So the ARK Mobile you know today will be developed, and possibly introducing every single map from ASE as time goes on. It sounds like it's going to be as similar to the Switch port as they possibly can make it, but it's very early stages yet. Wait and see on this one, but great news for ARK Mobile players. There's a lot of you out there. I'm not one of them, but there's a lot of you out there, and I'm sure you'll be excited to learn about this. And the devs addressed the official server close. Well, they didn't address the actual close of the servers, but when to expect the server saves from those official servers to be available for you to download them if you're playing on them. So on Friday, August the 25th, for both PC and console, in a 12-hour window, there's going to be a snapshot, essentially a save, taken of all of the servers for you to download at a later date. Therefore, you need to be on that server. Anything you've got uploaded needs to be downloaded on that server for you to download and use yourself in the future. With the future actually being Wednesday, August the 30th, for you to download these yourself, and if wanting to host it on another server, being offered a 20% discount to pay for your server to play the official server save that you won't be able to play anymore. You know, you can go and have fun there, but we don't know exactly when. I guess the expectation at the moment, as the devs have already said, is the end of September, not August, as I specified last weekend. But it would be good to see just a actual date confirmed for people to just prepare for, right? But as mentioned by Wildcard, if you don't make this first save snapshot, there will be a second one during September in preparation for these servers being re-released for ASA. Community creature votes are back, ladies and gents, boys and girls. That's right. They've been going on this week and they'll be running until the end of the weekend. Well, until Monday, August the 21st at 4 p.m. Pacific. And it's great to see pretty much all of these creatures meeting the theme of the center with submissions such as the Man-Eater Savodas, Giant Hermit Crab Mesopara, Giant Marine Reptile Shastasaurus, Hazard Deploying Speed Demon Mirror Kinonix, Giant Lobster Memphix, Savage Sea-Loving Sauropods Barja Desaurus, Island Hopping Pterosaur Hatzegopteryx, not exactly prehistoric killer whale, Giant Flying Fish Thoracopterus, and Boiling Sea Lizard Nothosaurus. And the majority of these I'm super excited to see included to the final list. I really want, I'm going to say for the first time ever, I'm not going to want a certain creature to be picked as the winner, but definitely one that can dive into the blue and utilize the sea like a sea creature should. We are lacking them. We need them. This is probably the only opportunity we're going to see a sea creature for ARK. I would highly suggest voting for one that does that. To do so, you go to this page here and simply rank and order the things that you want, ranging from 1 to 10 on most favourite to least favourite, and hit that submit button, and we'll find out who the finalist is next week. And that's it for now. A lot to unpack this week with some hopes, dreams of what's to come, some concerns on servers, but just maybe a bit of patience until we've probably heard some more information. So let's just maybe keep our cool until then. Can you do it? Or are you excited for things? Comment below. Let me know. Until the next one, my name's Raasclark. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And as always, peace out.